Hi everybody, Karis here, and I'm in a beautiful tree in my front yard that I don't come hang out with often enough. Every time I'm out here, there are a couple little spots you can kind of sit in. That's my favorite, the ones that are kind of like little chairs for you. And whenever I come out here, I always yell at myself for not coming more often and hanging out here more because of the grounding and purely the EMF thing alone. I get awfully zapped out by my devices, my computer and my cell phone and stuff. So it's really nice to be around places that naturally kind of assist you in discharging that, decompressing from it. So this video is going to be about how to walk in beauty. And when I say the word beauty, there are a lot of triggers that can come up. I'm not talking here about culturally labeled, idealized, perfect, physical form beauty at all. That's not what I mean. Although sometimes that's what it can come through as. But that's not the whole, or even very much of a part of what beauty actually is. What I believe that beauty actually is, and then that does often come through as something that people might say is the other kind of beauty, is when you, or anyone, or anything, is fully, completely, unabashedly, unapologetically, joyfully, deliciously doing its thing, doing its purpose, existing the way that it is meant, although I'm not talking about fatalism here, I'm talking about just going with what you feel best doing, meant to do, meant to be. And with every person and with every being, that's different. But I'm sure that even if there are culturally thought descriptions of beauty, like the shape of someone's face or symmetry or certain features or whatever, you could probably bring up some of those right now, and then you can also think of people who you feel are beautiful that don't subscribe to that are exceptions. Because what I think beauty actually is when a non-visible thing, an energy or a vibration or a feeling shines through the physical form that's in alignment with whatever this whole, superstring theory, universal energy flow kind of thing is. And then it resonates at this beautiful space that gets you to do the same thing within. And then you have a reaction to it of appreciation. Something else interesting about beauty is, if you've heard the term a beatific expression, then you'll understand that when someone is appreciating beauty, usually they're their most beautiful. If you've seen people who walk around who are worried or critical or thinking horrible thoughts or whatever, and their face is all screwed up, a lot of times what I've experienced about my personal embodied existence is that I tend to kind of be a bit of a glitch in the matrix just because of what I tend to do and even how I tend to dress and things like that. So sometimes I'll walk by people just on the sidewalk or whatever, and their faces will be like all weird looking at me. And I think that probably happens to a lot of people. Or it has nothing at all to do with me. They're just thinking something unpleasant or uncomfortable in their thoughts. And at least once, when someone was looking at me very critically because I was definitely not matching up with the paradigm that they thought people had to live in, I remember thinking to myself, if they knew how purely, vainly unattractive they looked when they were all wrinkled up and squeezed up and not letting life force flow through their face, if they realized that, they probably wouldn't do it anymore. They'd probably shift it. Something else that I know is after you go through a time of intense sorrow or stress or challenge, a lot of times it's on your face. There are a few more wrinkles. There's a feeling of, or a look of, being less tight to your bones, being more loose. And this is about reverse aging, and that's a whole other subject I will get into in other videos. But when I just went through a challenge, after every time I go through a challenging situation, I often notice that I've got a couple smile lines or frown lines or whatever, and that my skin feels a little less elastic. And then what I do is make sure that when I wash my face, I really massage it. Here's a big truck coming by. I'm just going to wait. It has Patriot Disposal incorporated on the side. Urban shamans, what does that mean? Okay, so, well, disposal, we were talking about getting rid of things. So what I notice is often there's a tiny layer of energetic numbness over my face. And so I really make sure to bring it back to sensitivity. And I also usually go on a juice fast for a few days, at least during the day, and then maybe eat solid food at night. And it disappears after a week or two. Whatever the thing was that I noticed was making me feel less in the prime of life goes away. So aging is not what we think, you guys. Anyway, so back to true beauty. The appreciation of beauty is true beauty. And also, since it is something that's flowing through you, nothing is beautiful in of itself. It's because of what it's doing. It's because of what it's being. And the emotions that it elicits in the viewer or the observer, whatever it is. It could be music or something that's not seen. So, to walk in beauty is to not only embody the flavor of aligning with this universal flow, but it's also to walk in beauty, to appreciate it around you. And it's this beautiful feedback loop that goes and comes. Now, for those of you who are women who are watching this, or men even, I just tend to go the women's side because that's what I understand more. There are other aspects of it, but this goes for everyone. Posture. The straighter you keep your spine, the more you let your spinal cord actually do what it's supposed to do, which is bring life through you. And the more you keep your joints, bones, muscles, tendons, things like that in working order through the way you hold your body, then of course more chi, more energy can flow through you, and you also emit more light, more beauty. Also, the thoughts you think and the words you speak. There's a beautiful poem by Audrey Hepburn about that, and I don't know it well enough to quote it, but I know that she says things like a beautiful mouth speaks kind words and beautiful eyes are full of love, or things like that, And I think that that's really true too. Here's that truck again. Some of it has to do with stress release, because I don't mean that in order to be beautiful, whether that's how you're perceived or how you feel is more important than how you're perceived. Okay, that's great, whatever. In order to do that, you don't have to be perfectly happy and wonderful and great all the time. Sometimes the most beautiful thing is witnessing someone who is having authentic tears. You guys will know what I mean with that. It means that you are authentic, and that when something does come up, you actually let it out. You actually get it out and clean it out of yourself. The thing that makes us bent over and crusty and angry and bitter is because we have all these pains and traumas come inside of us and we never scrub them out. It's not that we should never feel this stuff. It's that we should feel it. We came here to feel it. We came here into these bodies to get these specific cocktails of experience that Earth is giving us. And so when we let ourselves feel them and then release them, even if it's joy because you want to make space for more joy, every joy can come and fill you up, and then you can let it go and come back to the present moment, and then you can get a bigger one. When we do that, we expand and we do what we're here to do, which is be embodied as conscious beings that are split off from the source of creation, whatever you believe that is. So it's a little bit about walking in beauty, how to walk in beauty, keep your posture good, take good care of your body. That's one of them. How can you be really embodied if your body's all falling apart because it doesn't have the building blocks or the energy it needs to constantly be remaking itself in this very changeable world? So eating food that actually gives you life force, making sure you exercise so no little calcification spots can stay in your physical form for very long, in whatever way exercise speaks to you. Also, making sure that you give yourself time to decompress, making sure you sleep enough, whether or not that's a classic schedule. Some of you guys might be multiple sleepers. I am. I sleep some during the night and some during the day, whether that means after school or work for you or splitting up in the middle of the night or whatever it is. And making sure that you allow yourself a creative outlet in whatever way you need, be it writing, music, art, dance, whatever the creativity is that is yours, the thing that you make, the thing that you get lost in. That's another way to make sure that you are walking in beauty. So, I hope that was helpful. I do have a course coming up starting, I think it's in September. I forget exactly when it is, but it's called Walk in Beauty. It is for women because I just understand that more. I'm not trying to exclude you guys. I just want to teach what I know. So I can't really tell men how to do things that I don't know how to do for men. So anyway, that will be in the information section for this video. And I'm opening up registration for it today, which today is June 7th, so 7714. I know a lot of you guys have been seeing 7s, 1s, and 4s lately. I have too. So I feel like today is a pretty big, intense day. But enjoy your summer, please. Hydrate. Don't forget, a glass of water an hour will shift your whole deal if you don't have that much. So highly recommended there. And go in peace. Much love. And I will see you guys up there on the astrals.